Welcome to the Young Pro Show. My name is David, and today on this show is our good friend Alex, who is a young leader and entrepreneur in the rise, who's going to share some valuable tips about what he's doing to start achieving his dreams and what you could do to start achieving yours. Alex, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, where you came from, and what brought you to this point in your life right here?
I think it would have to start on August 17th, which is the day I left McDonald's as a manager. I felt like when I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I left the building after my 2 weeks notice, and I felt like I released shackles, and I was smiling ever since that day. I started attending Algonquin College for a carpentry program because I felt like learning a skill would be of value in the future, to renovate my own house when I do make money, or to even help people build houses themselves or renovate their own houses for a better outcome. And yeah, after that, I started getting involved with the certain clubs like entrepreneurship and public speaking club that by Thomas Kalaba. And then from that club, I got introduced to the Young Pros. And since then, things have been going quite great for me. Still having some slips of unproductivity that I need to work on, but it's all about growth at the end of the day. And all I've been trying to do is improve ever since that day I left at August. I felt for like a year or two I kind of wasted my time, but you can't let that bring you down. You know what I mean? So one of the ways I started was I just started reading more books. In middle school, high school, I didn't read like much at all. I maybe read one novel called Holes. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a pretty good movie and a good book. And ever after that, I started reading The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Then I read The Martian by Andy Weir. And then I was getting tired of fiction. I wanted self-improvement. Like I wanted books that were actually going to help me learn and achieve greater things. So I got this book by Dale Carnegie. Can you guess what it is? How to Win Friends and Influence People. And then I started talking to more people, interacting more, generally becoming more happier because I found I was always a critical person. I was kind of thinking negatively and maybe bringing people down when I shouldn't. And that book definitely changed my outlook on how to interact with people. So human relations definitely seems to be a key thing. Another thing I changed when I started school was planning your days or weeks or months. I saw this thing on The Art of Manliness. It's if you have a jar or cup, for example, what you want to do is put your big rocks, then you want to put smaller rocks, then you want to put sand, gravel, and water. But people are doing it backwards. People are putting all their small things like watching TV, playing video games, stuff like that, and then they don't all their big rocks are falling out at the end of the day. So by planning your day, you can fit your big things that are important to you into the jar first, and then you can top it off with all the unproductive things that you have to do later. So yeah.
That's really cool. So basically, it just shows you that you have a certain amount of things that you could fit into your life every single day, and most people are choosing to put in the things that are in their cup. They're choosing the things that don't really matter. Things like watching TV.
For me, for sure. I used to be a gamer, and I was spending a lot of time gaming. I probably could have pursued a game, like a career gaming or becoming a streamer or something, but it's kind of years after years of experience. Okay. But then I realized that it wasn't a big rock in my life. Right. So after you define your core values, you can start basing your big rocks on your core values and work from there.
Awesome. So you've now started to think about the things that are really more meaningful to you.
Absolutely.
And making sure that you're going to fill your glass up with the things that are more meaningful to you. Cool, Alex. Well, one thing I loved most about when I met you is your crave for knowledge and how you always want to be learning and you always want to be growing. So since you've started reading about personal development books, since you started learning about successful people, have you noticed a dramatic change in the way that you're thinking based on, negative thinking to more positive thinking? Have you noticed changes?
Absolutely. I'd say one of the bigger changes is that you kind of dish out negativity. You don't have time to think about negative things anymore. You're just constantly thinking about what you're going to learn next. By planning your week, you have something to follow. And even sometimes you're not going to follow that. But at the end of the day, you know that the next day is a new start and you can improve at any moment. So
Great.
Yes.
Great. Always be thinking positive. It's
Absolutely.
the way to go. So, Alex, what do you see for yourself at this point in your life? I mean, you're starting off as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I know you were participating in the Shopify competition,
Yeah.
so you were actually launched your own business, and you're working on that. So, what's in store for you, and what are you doing right now on this entrepreneurial journey? So what's next, basically?
So for now, I'm having kind of a rocky start. It's a bit slow. I have a t-shirt design for Breathe In Tees. I need to work on getting more people to design graphics and logos for me so I can actually implement it.
By the way?
Breathe In Tees? Breathe In Tees is my company. Basically, the vision is to implement a logo where when viewed by individuals, they'll stop in their day and take a deep breath. It's targeted at college and university students. They're all usually busy or thinking too much, or they're always on their phone. I don't know if you go on a bus, you see everyone on their phone. I don't know if they're actually reading articles or doing something productive or on Snapchat and Instagram. But yeah, it's just a reminder for people to slow down in their day, because when you slow down, you're able to build momentum in your life. You're able to become more productive.
It's interesting. It's almost like when you slow down, you actually speed up by slowing down.
It's a good way to put it.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. I love what you're doing with that company, because I think it's so important that people do stop midway in their day throughout their busy lives and actually be aware of where you are in this moment in time, in this present moment, and aware of your breath. And starting to take a breath is the perfect way to kind of ground yourself in this present moment in time and stop the rush that a lot of us are having on our daily lives. So what do you plan? So you plan for this symbol to be something that spreads all around the world? Do you want people everywhere to see this symbol and want to stop midday and breathe from it?
For now, I think the target would be college and university students. However, around the world. Like, that could be any college, any university around the world. It's just a matter of getting recognition of that symbol through word of mouth. I don't know if I'm going to have to advertise it or not. It's still a learning process that I'm in. However, there's other options too. Like, I could eventually, whenever I get the skill that I need, I can work as a laborer, I can start a business, I can become a cost estimator. There's other options as well. I feel like t-shirt business is just a stepping stone along the way. And I hope for greater things to come. Yeah,
what really matters is that you've started.
Yeah.
Right? And
absolutely.
that goes to all the leaders out there, all the entrepreneurs out there, all the people that are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur. Just start. Because when you start, again, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So start whatever it is you're doing and move towards that. And now it's the fact that you're starting it and you're moving towards it just shows the life that you want to see for yourself in your life. So what's one of your favorite philosophies that you've been learning from these personal development gurus or from these successful people? What really resonates with you?
What resonates with me the most, I would say, is that you can learn something from everyone. Anyone you talk to, you can learn something from them just by asking. You learn their name, you learn what they're doing in their lives, and through that, your brain will make different connections that you may not ever expect. So by networking, you're going to have more ideas, you're going to be able to build more momentum in your life. And honestly, that's probably something to stand by.
Wow, that's really powerful, because we don't necessarily only have to learn from the people that are more successful than us. And I think a lot of us think like that. We think, okay, well, he's successful for me, then I'll learn from him. But we can also learn from the people that aren't necessarily as successful as us. And if we look at everyone else as if you look at ourselves, at least as a student, learning from all the people around us, that we can take advantage of all of the qualities and all of the personality traits that all of the people around us really have. So I love that, Alex. That's a really, really good way to think about your life, is to look at the people around you and know that you can learn something from every person that you encounter.
Thank you, David. Well said.
No problem, Alex. So what are some tips that you can give to the young leaders out there who are thinking about, starting to take their life to the next level? What are some tips that you can give them on what they can do to really start making things happen in their life?
I would say one of the steps for me was define your core values. Whenever I first read an article about core values, I was like, oh, wait, what are my core values? Simple ones like family, health, basic things like that are good values to have, but when you write them down and define them, you're able to start getting your big rocks in your life that you're going to put in this cup and plan your weeks. And from there, you can start building your momentum and follow your plan from then. It's all about planning your life out, short-term goals, long-term goals, and seeking knowledge in everything you do.
What are some of your core values?
My top 2 core values right now are knowledge and health.
Knowledge and health.
Yeah. So I'm doing yoga every morning. 30 minutes. The first thing on my calendar in the morning is doing yoga for 30 minutes. I'm not really sitting up straight right now, which I should be, but the goal is for me to actually maintain my health and live a longer life and to promote breathing at the end of the day, right? Yoga is all about breathing.
How is being involved in health and doing things to better your health affected the way that your mentality is about life?
Well, it all comes down to breathing. When you're in the gym working out, you have to breathe properly. Whenever you're doing yoga, you have to be conscious of your breathing. Whenever you're breathing, you're observing your thoughts and allowing to disassociate negative thoughts from positive thoughts and create a better mindset. So by doing that, you kind of increase your blood flow. You just feel better. You feel better about what you're doing. You're going into everything clear-headed, and basically it just improves your productivity.
And that's really what we want when it comes down to the day, right? We just want to feel better. Every single day, we just want to feel better and better and better. And there are little things that we could do every single day in order to feel better. Things like breathing, things like doing yoga, things like reading, things like thinking more positively instead of negative. I'm curious, Alex, how did you go from thinking more negative to thinking positive? Was it a hard change in your mentality, or was it easy? Okay, today I'm going to think more positive type of deal.
I'd say it definitely takes discipline. One thing that people think they're going to wake up and be motivated one day, but motivation it comes from discipline, in my opinion. Like, people go to the gym whether they feel like it or not to, and those are the people who are dishing out a lot of sets and a lot of reps, and those are the people who are bodybuilders and making money in health and fitness. So it all comes down to disciplining yourself to actually getting the things that you want done in your life, and with that, you'll eliminate your negative thoughts.
Okay, so if someone's in the audience right now and who knows that I think the first step is also awareness.
Yeah.
Because if you're not aware that you're negative, then how could you really change it to being positive?
That is a very good point too. That's true.
There are these 4 steps that I heard of that are the 4 steps to learning. So you start off being unconsciously incompetent, which means you don't know what you don't know. Basically, you're not even aware that you're thinking negative. The next step is being consciously incompetent, so you know that you don't know. You know that you're, have negative thoughts, and you know that you got to change it. The next step is being consciously competent, so you know that you're getting better. You know that you're improving. You know that you're choosing your positive thoughts wisely. And the next step is unconscious competence. And that's when you don't even have to think about it anymore. That's when your positive thoughts are flowing in every single day. That's when you don't have to, that's how you tie your shoe. You don't think about tying your shoe. You're unconsciously competent in tying your shoe. You could be the same way in your mentality, right?
And that should be the goal for everyone, to reach that stage of constant enlightenment, constant positive thinking, constant productivity.
Awesome.
All that.
Something I noticed about you, Alex, when you come to these Young Pros workshops, is something I always see you doing, is you're looking at how you could give advice to other people.
Okay.
Have you always been like that? Have you always wanted to offer value to other people?
I'd say one of my years at McDonald's working full-time, one of the best ways for me to relieve stress was starting to get into working out a lot more before I had a back injury. But as I was growing and climbing and learning about sets and reps, I found myself giving people health advice. So I had the knowledge there, and then once you have the knowledge, I was able to express it to people. So right now, it's just a matter of getting the knowledge I need so I can express it to everyone,
would you agree
in the purest form.
Would you agree that you even learn more when you start to teach it to other people?
Absolutely. One of my profs at school right now said, you only remember 8% of what you read, but you remember 100% of what you teach.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's incredible.
Absolutely.
That's why we're here on the Young Pro Show.
Thank you so much,
Teaching
David.
as many people as possible. So, closing things off here, Alex, who is one person that you would recommend to be on the Young Pro Show, and why?
I would say Robert Barker would be the person I would recommend to come here. I'm not even sure if he knows about the Young Pros show, but...
he will soon.
He will soon, because we'll tag him. Only because he was one of the people who stood out in my carpentry course when I went to Algonquin. He said he was involved with network marketing, and ever since I looked up to him and I was asking him questions about things. And he helped me definitely become more social with people, and ever since I've been trying to network. So thanks to him, I hope he can come on the show too.
Awesome. Then let's definitely bring him on the show. Well, hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Young Pro Show today. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Alex, is there any closing words you want to leave to the viewers today?
Closing words, remember to take a deep breath.
Remember to take a deep breath. In and out. One for the show. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next time on the Young Pro Show.